Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome back to another week of scripture art journaling. And today's scripture comes from Colossians 3:2, and it is set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. And this week I've been reminded of this so much because this is so weird, but I love the changing of the seasons. I especially love the autumn and the fall and the winter season, but I also love when spring comes around. So just any seasonal change I love. And it always sends me back to thinking about God and how amazing He is that He changes these seasons for us so we can enjoy it. Well, it reminded me that that is a heavenly blessing we have. It comes from heaven. And in those thoughts, I'm like, every good and perfect gift is from above, right? Every good and perfect gift comes from God in heaven. And so I wanted to remind myself of that everything in the world does not matter to me. What matters to me is what God gives me and the fact that I get to set my affection on things above, meaning the long term, the grand scheme of things is that I get to spend eternity with God in heaven. And I want to remember that. And so many times I want to remind you of this. You're going through things in your life and you're struggling and you're in the struggle, and you've heard this, the struggle is real, and it is. God never promised us there wouldn't be struggles. He never said we wouldn't stumble or fall or go through tough times. But He did say He'd always be there, and even better, that we would be with Him eventually, which is so, it's just the thing to hold on to. It's the thing you need to remember. So I want to encourage you this week to set your mind, your heart, your love, your affection, your thoughts on things above. This is going to sound crazy, but sometimes when I sound crazy a lot of times, but sometimes when I'm just really, really down or I'm really, really depressed or I'm really struggling and I'm praying about things, sometimes God will remind me of what I have to look forward to, being in heaven with my family members who've gone on before, with my church members who've gone on before, with friends, acquaintances, people. And He'll sometimes remind me, I know you're struggling now, but you're going to get this reward that's going to be so amazing. You can handle this. You can get through this. And so I hope that you guys can do that if you're going through something tough right now, and remind yourself, literally close your eyes, and with your worldly mind, with the little earthly mind we have, try to imagine what it's going to be like in heaven. And it'll just make you giddy, and you'll just want to think like that. And so that's the scripture for this week. And I just think it's a good reminder for us and a good thing for us to do. We need to be reminded to think of Jesus and what we have coming. God, heaven, our glory that is coming. Now, this piece of paper is a white piece of paper. It's actually cardstock. I cut it in half, and before I realized it, I was testing inks, and I put them on here, so I've wasted this half piece of paper, which was silly. I should have used a scrap, but I didn't. And I'm going to use this anyway. I'm going to let it be the piece I'm going to use to make this this art journal happen. So I did some testing on some inks, and I want to do a sky. I've seen this done, and I've never really tried it myself, and I may be really bad at it. But if I am, you guys will get to see me try. I'm going to use my blending tool. I'm putting a clean pad on here because I haven't used one with this guy before. And I'm going to take this paper and I'm just going to tear some shapes in it. And I'm going to let this be like a cloud, So you've seen this done. I'm not doing anything you haven't seen before. I'm going to ink this page in such a way that these little clouds look a little fluffy and things like that. But I've never really played with this much, so I'm going to see what I can do. So, after some trial and error, I have changed my mind. I was going to use this weathered wood color, but it is too gray and too sad, and I don't like it. And I was going to use torn paper, and I decided it was better if I cut these little scallops in the paper instead of tearing it. I was getting a better shape. It was just really bad, so I wanted to change it. So this is what I'm doing instead. I've cut scallops in the shape of the clouds. I'm going to the bluer color. I'm going to ink this up, and it works better if I come from the pink page to the white page. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to go to the white page, and I'm just going to circular motion ink that up, and look how much better that is. That just looks more like a cloud to me. I like it better. I'm happier with that. So now I'm going to come over here and add another cloud, and I'm going to move them down and then just kind of add some here and there and see what we get. So starting here and then working my way out. Sometimes you just got to trial and error things and see how much better that looks. So much more like clouds. Let's see. Let's add You just never know till you do it. So let's just go like this here. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that's looking much, much better. I like to flip this guy around a little bit. Let's go about like that. Now, I know there are videos out there teaching this technique. I am not the expert at this. This is the first time I've really given this a shot. But I don't hate how it's looking. I think it looks good and very cloudy. Very like the heavens. So there we go. Those are my clouds. I don't hate how that turned out. It's not perfect. It's not like I've seen other people do it, but it's my version. And I'm going to come in with the rest of the ink, and I'm just going to kind of ink the edges a little bit. Just kind of play with that ink and kind of get it off of my little sponge here onto the page. Just kind of tie everything together. I don't hate how it turned out. I think it worked really well. I think it was what I was looking for anyway. All right, so now it is time to do some more. I'm going to do some stamping on it too. So I have these birds in one of my stamp sets that is called Beacon, and I love these 3 birds. They go in all different directions, and I just thought this would be really cool to add these guys to the sky and make this really look like a sky. I'll bring some VersaFine ink over here, and I'm going to pick up one of these birds like so, and I'm just going to start stamping them here or there. Something like that. I'm going to let one kind of go off the page. Pick up another one. Make sure I have them in the right direction. It's a bird. I don't guess it matters. They can fly upside down if they want to. Like that. Maybe one up here close to that one like it's chasing it. And for the last one, just going to add it to the mix. I like that. That looks good. I really like how that looks. I think that looks really pretty. Now I'm going to put my scripture on here, and I'm going to do it with my handwriting. You guys know I like to sometimes play with that, see what I can come up with. So I'm probably just going to do set your minds on things above. So I've penciled that in, and now I'm going to use this black marker and just set it in permanently. Now, for fun, I've gone back through and I've added some extras to the letters, just like this. And I'm going to darken those in so you can see them. And then I think I'm going to color them in with the marker, because this one I had a little oopsie on and it doesn't look so great. So I think I'm going to color this in to fix it. But that's the beauty of art. We can play with it, right? And make it how we want it to look. So I'm just going to fix this O on both sides. And I'm not going to stress about it either. If I don't get it perfect, I'm not worried about it. This is for me and for my enjoyment, and I want to have fun doing it and not overthink it. Now I have pinned in my words. Now I'm going to go back with my eraser and get rid of all these other pencil marks. And I got to be honest, I wrote and erased this a good bit to get it just like I wanted it. So I want to make sure I clean those up as best I can. And I just kind of lightly do this. And you can see I just use a regular old eraser. Like, you can use an artist eraser if you feel you need to. I just use a regular one. Make sure your ink is dry before you go to do this, because you will smear it if it's not. So just give it a time to dry. I think I got it all. And there you go. Look how simple, but how fun, right? I love how this turned out. This reminds me of like the ocean, like a day at the beach or something like that. Let's put this into our book. So I put some art glitter glue on the back, and now I'm going to glue it in. And there we go. How easy. I like how that one looks. I think that looks very bright and cheery. And I love having the stamps for the birds. But here's a tip. If you don't have a stamp to do your birds like that, you can just draw them with a marker. I used to do it when I was in school. You just take your marker and just almost make like a little crossover mark, and it'll look just like these flying birds, and it will be beautiful. Hey, thanks so much for watching this week. If this is your first time joining us for our scripture art journaling, I encourage you to head over to our Facebook group, which is called Hide His Word in My Heart. Join the group and share with us what you're doing in your art journal. We love to see pictures of your art journaling. And we have prayer requests there. We have Bible study, lots of things you can get involved with over there. There's links for that below. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.